basic explanation. We just discovered that 6 or 8 months ago, so we can answer that question. So there were a number of people who talked about bodies. Some of them talked about seeing them firsthand. Some of them talked about family members who have seen them and told them about it. There is some discussion that one may have survived for a period of time. That I'm not as confident with. That information I'm not as confident about as I am with some of the other information. But there were bodies recovered.
Very interesting. And you brought up Kecksburg very briefly as well there, and that's another one of these very interesting stories and testimonials on how the military moved in. And again, in that particular case, there is a story about an entity or a being basically inside this acorn-shaped capsule that landed. What's your take on that, Kevin?
Well, Kecksburg is really a tough one for me. I go back and forth on that one because one day I'm thinking, yeah, okay, this is extraterrestrial. The next day I'm thinking, well, maybe not. Maybe another explanation. I know Robert Young, who's sort of the anti-Stan Gordon, has proposed a number of explanations for the Kecksburg thing that is very good. One of the major witnesses for the Kecksburg thing that talks about the acorn-shaped craft is a very shady character, and I'm not sure I'd believe him if he told me the sun was in the sky or not. But Stan Gordon has done a wonderful job and has gathered a great deal of information that suggests it was not something natural and it was not an Earth-based technology that was recovered at Kecksburg. So I go back and forth on that one. I'm just not sure. That would be what I would put in the unknown category, the unidentified category. I just really not sure on Kecksburg where to set that down. But the big four that I look at would be Roswell, Las Vegas in 1962, Kecksburg in 65, and Shag Harbor in 68 are the really big UFO crashes that are very interesting, and there's a lot of information about. There's a lot of other ones that are single witness that are interesting, but they're single witness, and there's others that clearly are not alien. They might be extraterrestrial because they're the result of meteors or bolides. But there's four that are really prominent, to my mind at least, that have a good shot of being something alien.
And as we begin to round things up here, there's multiple, obviously, different sightings and different bigger events, so to speak, that would happen around the world, and even recently. But one of these that is known as the Phoenix Lights, for instance. What's your take on that, then, Kevin?
Well, with the Phoenix Lights, I think we're getting involved in one of those deals where there's a lot of answers. Some of them very satisfactory, and some of them not so much. Some of the footage taken over Phoenix in 1997 clearly was flares. There's no doubt in my mind it was flares, and the unit that dropped the flares has been identified. But there's other parts of the Phoenix Lights phenomenon that aren't identified. So I think there's a core of very good sightings there, and I've worked with a couple of people on that. Jim Kelly, I believe, in Phoenix has been very helpful to me on that, providing me the information and that sort of thing with his Arizona MUFON group. So we have a core of very good sightings, but some of the sightings that have gotten the most publicity, I think, have explanations in the mundane. And what, unfortunately, skeptics and the deniers and the believers tend to do is lump everything together. So if you solve one part of it, then the whole thing is solved, and that's not really true. And if one part is unidentified, then the whole thing's unidentified, and that's really not true. You've got to kind of take a look at the various pieces and say, this part we have a solution for. We don't need to worry about that. Let's look at the core that has a solid information that we might be able to learn something new about. Let's look at that stuff and not worry about the ancillary issues.
Okay, very interesting, Kevin Randle. Again, the book is called Crash. It will be out later next year in 2010. This goes into detail in some of the most reported UFO crashes around the world, and also in history then looks at these 300 scenarios or events that has taken place. I want to thank you so much for coming on the program, Kevin, and sharing some of your perspective and research with us. But please, for us again, mention your blog so people know where to go if they want to continue and following more of your work and research, Kevin?
The blog is called A Different Perspective. It's at www.kevinrandle.blogspot.com. Sometimes it pops up if you're looking for a specific sighting. You type in like Socorro UFO, and because I've done some stuff recently about that, my blog pops up there too. So it's kind of all over the UFO field. It's linked from another different blogs, and I've linked to other blogs that I find interesting. So it's just a look at the UFO phenomena and the unusual from my perspective.
Okay, very good. Keep up the work, the great work, Kevin, and thank you for coming on again, the program, and of course, have a very good Christmas.
Same to you and everybody in Sweden and throughout the world.
That's our program with Kevin Randle. Thank you for joining us. My name is Henrik. Have a good Christmas, and we will be back soon with more radio for you to enjoy during the holidays. My thanks to Fredrik, Elizabeth, and Lana. Take it easy, and we will talk more soon. Bye-bye.